your biographies. The name of the strategy is called Ratiocination. Can you repeat that? Ratiocination. Let's try it one more time. You'd be great. Ratiocination. All right, when we use this strategy, we're going to do what we call code your writing. And I've provided the code for you right here. So you'll notice that one of the things I'd like you to do is to use a blue colored pencil or even a blue crayon, but not a blue marker because it will bleed through. But a blue colored pencil or a blue crayon. We've been talking a lot about signal words, the words that writers often use when they're writing a historical text, when they're writing a biography like the Nellie Bly biography that we've been reading, or writers like you who in this case, during the course of your raft, are writing an obituary. So we use signal words to show the order that things happen so that our reader can keep track of what's going on in an order that makes sense in their minds. Words like first, next, later, eventually, not long after. And you can use the chart as well to remind yourself of some of the signal words. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and circle any signal words that you find in your text in blue. Then we'll talk about what we can do to revise our writing so that it includes some signal words to make it easier for our reader to follow along with the text. So we might be inserting some signal words into the text if we're finding that there really aren't any. But coding will help us even just visually to see whether or not you have them. The next thing you're going to do is in wavy green pencil, you're going to underline your verbs. One thing that we talked about is, when you're reading a biography about someone's life who has, their life has already unfolded, generally our verbs we're finding are in what tense? The past tense, right? The past tense. And certainly you all have been writing a biography. And so there the verbs we would expect to be in past tense. So we're going to take a look as you underline in wavy green crayon or pencil all of your verbs to look at verb tense. And then if we find that there are verbs that are in the present tense, we might need to think about revising them. I'll give you one word of caution though, and I'm not sure that this is showing up in any of your obituaries, but if you were to include a quotation, something that, for example, Nellie Bly was famous for saying, you wouldn't adjust the verb there. You would use the verb just as it is. And then the last thing that we're going to code your writing for is sentence variety in terms of length. I'm just going to have you underline every single sentence in your text using alternate colors. And your team can decide, without too much fuss, which colors to use. So you can see I underlined the first sentence, let's say in purple, right up until the end punctuation. So not a first line of text, but a first complete sentence. So some of our sentences you'll notice wrap around to the next line. Keep using that same color until you get to the next capital letter in end punctuation combination because a new sentence is starting. So what we notice when we read really good writing is that there's a lot of variety in sentence length. If all of the sentences are very, very short, the boy kicked the ball, the girl ran and retrieved the ball. If all the sentences are very, very short, the writing seems very choppy. Similarly, if the sentences are too long, the writing can be very long and drawn out, and the reader has a hard time kind of staying tuned in to the message that the writer is trying to convey. So good writing has a nice combination of short and long sentences. So if you're finding that your sentences are short, 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 we can combine some sentences using words like and when appropriate. Or if they're so long, what we can do is we can talk about how we can break up really, really long sentences into two more manageable sentences. But being able to code it in alternating colors will help you to just visually see what your sentence lengths look like. Are there any questions about how you're going to do this? No questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll say, off you go.